my healing journey kind of starts at 29. When I had just turned 30 actually. And I went from 98 pounds soaking wet. I've always been very tiny, always underweight. I was healthy, but I was underweight my whole life. And I hit 30, and in 3 months, I went from 98 pounds to 146. And so it was like, obviously, something's really wrong here. And the first thing that everybody kept telling me was something has to be wrong with your thyroid, right? And so I go into the doctor, and it was the first thing that they tested for was the thyroid. And they came back and they said, your numbers are great. Everything looks wonderful. And I'm going, then what explains this? What's going on? I was fatigued, brain fog. I couldn't concentrate. I mean, it was just, I did not feel like myself. And they told me, no, everything's good. And so my whole 30s, I jumped from one specialist to another, to another, to another, and paying, out of pocket for all these, the co-pays and the deductibles and everything else. I'd been diagnosed and treated for things that different doctors were so certain that it was. At some point, somebody said that I must have had a pituitary gland tumor. And then another time, another doctor treated me for parasites before she even confirmed that that's what it was. And then I got a call back. She was like, I am so sorry to tell you this, but the lab results came back. You don't have worms. And I was like, yes, I do, because you told me that I did, and I've been feeling that I have worms. So I went through all this stuff. COVID happened, and it changed everything. And this one day, I'm on Facebook, and I'm scrolling, and I come across one of Dr. J's, seminars that he does where, just kind of informational. And it must have been like 45 minutes. But whatever had been said at that moment, like, caught my attention. And so I stopped, and I was listening to it. I ended up listening to the whole thing. And by the end of it, I was to tears, because he had explained about the different screenings that there are for thyroid issues, and how a lot of our insurance will not cover all of the screenings. And so you only get tested for maybe 2 out of the 3 was at that time. I think there's even a 4th now, but at that time, they only screened for the 2 out of the 3. And I wasn't told that there was a 3rd one. And not even given the option to, I would have paid for it out of pocket because I was so sick. And instead was just told that everything was great, So I came in to see Dr. J. Of course, before doing that, filling out the intake paperwork, I knew, like, this is different, because it asked so many questions, and nobody had ever asked me that extensive amount of questioning to get my history. And so when I finally came in and saw Dr. J, we talked about the paperwork and stuff, and he said, this is a commitment. You don't come in, get some magic pill. This is going to require some life changes. This is a partnership. And I mean, I cried and I cried. I can't tell you for how long I cried, because I knew that things were going to get better. And I didn't need the label. I didn't need to be diagnosed with anything. I just needed to know, where in my body am I needing help with, and what can be done with it. Still till this day, I'm now down to 146, which is a healthy weight for my height. And I'm still in my healing process, but my primary care doctor does not believe that I've never had to take levothyroxine or any other medication, prescribed medication for my thyroid. And every time she checks my level, she's like, okay, you're doing well, and I'm like, I know, because I can feel it. The inflammation went down. I can feel it. Unfortunately, there were some longer term repercussions from having had my thyroid not well for a decade, that I'm still dealing with. But Imagine Wellness, has been a lifesaver for me. It changed everything. I am now 46, and as I get closer to 50, I'm so super excited because I feel like the next part of my life is going to be better than the previous one. That I'm going to be healthy. I don't anticipate, going downward like some people, say. And so, yes, for anyone that will listen, come in. You don't lose anything by coming in and having that free consultation that you have with Dr. J, and just check things out and give it a chance.